Hey everybody, Crocilla here, and I wanted to talk about an event that happened to me that made Jiu-Jitsu a really important part of my life and also solidified the reason why I was training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The event that happened was a attempted robbery when I was taking the subway home from work a few years back. This had happened back in 2009. I was a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so a natural born killer, of course. It was a day in April where we had a blizzard, a nor'easter, and as a result, I rode my bike to the academy that I was basically apprenticing at and shoveled out the school all day, even though it was snowing continually. No one showed up for class, and then when we went to leave, of course, it was still snowing, so bike riding was out of the question really for the distance that I had to go. So, went to go take the train home. While I was waiting in the train station, I was the only one there. It was a pretty surreal experience. Me, a big doofy idiot, in a spider jacket, a hat with the flaps that cover your ears. I had my iPod on because, of course, it's 2009, blasting Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I was kind of nodding off because it was a long day of shoveling snow and a long day of just manual labor. So I was leaning against the wall, eyes closed, and it's one of the open air platforms. So I see across from me, someone goes on the other side. I pay no mind. I'm on one side of the platform and 150 feet is the other end. I'm right by one exit. So the person that I'm looking at directly walks all the way that way. And again, pay it no mind because he's walking the opposite direction from me because the stairs are right next to me. Close my eyes, I fall asleep again. Open my eyes, I see someone walking down the platform 150 feet away from me. But again, didn't register that it was the same person yet. So close my eyes, I open my eyes again, and then I have a kid yelling in my face. I can't hear him. I have my headphones in. So the first thing I do is I look at him. Now, I'm part of an organization that has 4 schools at this time. I assumed he was a student. He was talking to me. Then finally my brain clicked, like, oh, trouble. Pulled out an earbud. I stepped to the side. I moved so my back wasn't stuck against the wall. And I put my hands up and created a personal fence. First thing I learned in self-defense. And I said, yo, you're about to make a mistake. And the kid, who's probably a year or 2 younger than me, goes, what are you going to do? So I look at him, I'm like, you're about to make a mistake. He looks at me again, he says, what are you going to do? I said, you're about to make a mistake. At that point, he takes his hands, he puts them in his sweatshirt, goes like that. So there's a big bump, I guess, to simulate he has a gun. I'm looking at him, and he's like, what are you going to do? Now, pause. In my head, I'm thinking, I'm going to jab, cross, teep kick, bang your head off the phone that's still attached to the old subway stations, and then tomonagi you onto the train tracks, hopefully onto the 3rd rail. But in my head, I was like, that's probably not necessary. So I look at him and I'm like, you can continue down the path that you're on and realize you made a big mistake, or you can walk away. It's your choice. The whole time my hands are up, my voice never raised, my inflection never changed, and my eye contact never broke. He looks at me, he looks away, looks at me, looks away, he goes, you're not even worth it. I would have just shot you anyway. And then he walks off. So, for me, the lesson was, have a response in mind when you want to defend yourself. That's self-defense 101. Not the judo throw you're going to do into a flying arm lock, into a heel hook. That's not going to help you if someone's brandishing a weapon. And my thought process is, if someone shows me a weapon, they can have whatever they want. If they don't show me a weapon and they put their hands on me, then it's go time. But because he didn't show me a weapon, he alluded to it, and he wanted to save face, I gave him the opportunity to walk away. He did, and then as soon as he was far enough away, I went upstairs to the booth attendant and told him that a kid just tried to rob me. And he said, okay, and I couldn't really do much anyway, the kid was gone. Went back the next day just to check in and found out that 2 people had their iPods stolen. So it happens very quick. Of course, we all do jiu-jitsu to be these trained killers, essentially. But the reality is the confidence you're going to get from training, the way you carry yourself, the eye contact you maintain, the ability to contain your breath and not freeze or flight or submit is really the best thing. And my fight instinct was my words. And I used my words to defuse him. So what I recommend for everybody here, anyone taking the subway, anyone walking home, have a phrase that's your go-to. Just by having something to say, you're going to immediately disarm a person. And then, of course, if the steps need to escalate, hopefully you've been training and feel comfortable about it. So I don't recommend, of course, getting into fights, being a vigilante, being Batman. But if someone is trying to steal your personal property, invade your personal space, put their hands on you, threaten you with a weapon, you've got to defend yourself. And at that point, I was too tired to run away, and I just reacted with instinct, and fortunately, it was the right one. So, best of luck out there. Have a great day.